Hello and welcome to my next video in my series of frequently asked questions. So this one again, I get all these questions a lot. This one is, how much power do I need, or how long does my power station last? That question cannot be answered. There's no simple way to answer that question. The answer is, it depends. So my power station, I think, is 1056 watt hours, something like that. I have a Delta 2, EcoFlow Delta 2, and it lasts depending on how much I use it. That's the answer. So the things I run off of my power station are Starlink, laptop, fridge, charge the phone, charge things like headlamps, my lights, run my fan. So there are a lot of different things I use. So depending on how often I use those things will depend on how long the power station lasts. I had a recent question on here about Starlink. I did get Starlink in January, and Starlink uses about 50 watt hours, and if I use that and the laptop uses about 50 watt hours, that's about 100 watt hours. So I try and only use Starlink when I'm either plugged into mains power, then it doesn't matter, or if it's a nice sunny day and I can put my solar panels out, and I now have 440 watts of solar panels that go out, and if I have them out and I can run my laptop, my fridge and Starlink and still charge my batteries, my power station. So if you're trying to work out what size power station or batteries you need, there's a few things you need to take into consideration. This is my advice. I've been doing this for 3.5 years. This is what I've learned. There's how much power you need and your ability to recharge. So one reason I love the new EcoFlow is they recharge really quickly. So like I said, now that I have quite a lot of solar, before I only had 100 watts, that would take a long time to charge the power station. Now I have over 400 watts, it takes a lot less time. The other thing is, how much are you using things? If I ran Starlink and my laptop together, they're going to last 10 hours and the battery's going to be wiped. So you have to really think about how much you're going to use things. What are you going to be running? If you're going to be running a CPAP machine, you need to find out how many watts it uses, and then you just do simple math. If it uses 100 watts an hour, and your power station's 1,000 watt hours, it's going to last 10 hours. It's really simple math. You need to just work out what you need to use. So the biggest variable in this is the fridge. You can't really control too much how much the fridge runs, but you can do your best to minimize it. The less you open it, it won't run as much. I have a chest freezer, so it opens up from the top. If you reduce the time you open it, it keeps the cold air in. If you keep it nice and full, it keeps the cold air in. If it's a cool day, it won't run too much. If it's a hot day, it's going to run more. So it is variable. There's no right answer to this question. You need to work out your own needs. So one thing I do use to minimize the draw on the power station is I have some portable power banks, and I will use these to charge my phone, my fan, my headlamp, my lights as much as possible, and keep the power station because the power station has the 240 volt plug when I need to run things like Starlink and my laptop, because I need to work. So my work is my priority. I want to make sure I have power to work at all times. So that's what I use. So I use these, and then so overnight this will run down. I'll have everything plugged into this, and then in the next morning I'll put the solar panels out, and once the power station is charged, then I'll plug this in and charge this. So I have a couple of these, and they're really great backup, and they're good if you're just going to have a USB in them, because you don't need the 240, and I can save the power station for everything that's 240. So I hope that answers your question. How much power do I need? The Starlink uses 50 watt hours. My laptop's about 50 watt hours. When the fridge kicks in, it's 43 watts. Yeah, that's pretty well mostly it. The phone can draw quite a lot as well. But yeah, you just need to do your research, do the math on it, work out how you're going to recharge it. Do you have enough solar to recharge it? You can recharge while you're driving with the one I've got, and I can also plug it in. I've stayed at a caravan park where it wasn't powered, but I could take my power station up to the bathroom, plug it in, and in an hour it was fully charged. So that's also not just how much you're going to use, but how are you going to recharge it, and how long is it going to take to recharge? That's something I think you need to think about. That was my biggest limitation on my last power station. It took too long to recharge. All right, that's just my advice. Again, check the comments. Other people will have some advice and what they do. I know lots of people on here are already living in vans. I've had quite a few great comments already, so please check out what they say. All right, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next frequently asked question. Bye.